Hello, I'm Jake, Mr. Jake, and I'd like to recommend a first-person shooter starring Michael Biehn as a cyborg super soldier. It's epic.
First-person shooters these days pride themselves in being more modern, more complex, more realistic than the shooters of old, which featured enemy AI about as dumb as a washing machine. You know, like Doom. Those were the days. Mindless fun, killing things and blowing stuff up, wreaking havoc like nobody's business and enjoying every moment of it. I think it's about damn time someone made a truly old school game. Yes, we had Painkiller and Serious Sam, but oh boy, this brings the 1980s vision of the future to life in glorious fashion.
Blood Dragon is a standalone DLC to one of the aforementioned modern first-person shooters, Far Cry 3, a game I never played, nor do I ever intend to. Blood Dragon, on the other hand, I intend to play through again and again and again. You see, this game takes place in the future of 2007. I'll get back to that later.
The year is 2007 and we are in a post-nuclear war setting where cyborg super soldiers are fighting for control over the remains of the world. In Blood Dragon, you play as one of these cyborgs, specifically as a Mark IV cyber commando called Rex Power Colt. Half man, half machine, all cyborg, you have to fight off hordes of other cyborg super soldiers using a wide variety of futuristic weapons in a combination of linear missions and open world gameplay. Beyond the short but epic main campaign, optional activities await you. For example, you can seize control of enemy outposts and complete side missions that unlock weapon upgrades, involving objectives like blowing up cyber sharks with plastic explosives. It's a throwback to the old days, mindless run-and-gun gameplay made memorable by the setting, which is basically the 1980s vision of the future with lots of neon lights, big guns, lots of explosions, macho characters spewing outrageous one-liners, and the Michael Biehn himself.
That's right, Michael Biehn of Terminator fame voices the player character, and his presence completes the experience. Through his voice, Rex Power Colt provides fantastic commentary to the destruction, and you can tell from the line delivery that Michael Biehn had fun in this role. Furthermore, just like in Terminator, his character is the villain, which is outstanding because I, for one, find it rather boring that we have to play the hero in most games. It is, in fact, rather refreshing to be the bad guy for a change.
Sure, the game claims that your job is to, quote, get the girl, kill the bad guys, and save the world, but it's very much apparent that you are, in fact, the bad guy. As Sergeant Rex Power Colt, you have to stop your former commander from establishing a new world order over the ashes of a broken world, meaning you have to stop the people that want to rebuild civilization. Truly, what kind of a man does such a horrible thing? Clearly Rex Colt is the bad guy, and it's a blast to play as him. When you kill your enemies, you can press a button to add insult to injury by flipping the bird to the corpse with your cybernetic left hand. And then let's not forget the endless river of profanity coming out of the good sergeant's mouth. Examples include priceless lines such as, quote, I'll take you to your deathbed and your blanket will be 6 feet of my shit, or I've been wanting to kick those assholes in their assholes all day, and I fucking hate tutorials and this one is terrible. Granted, I am a polite gentleman who never utters the words fuck you under any circumstances, yet I upload these features because I like it when the characters are authentic. This game would not have worked so well without the profanity, and let's face it, flipping off dead beheaded cyborgs never gets old. Not to mention that you can't expect cyborg super soldiers in a post-apocalyptic world ravaged by mutant cyborg dinosaurs to be gentle. Speaking of which, let's talk about the Blood Dragons. This game features a unique enemy type in the game beside the usual cyborg super soldiers in the form of the Blood Dragons, which are basically cyborg dinosaurs capable of firing lasers from their eyes.
Let me say that again, slowly. This game features cyborg mutant dinosaurs capable of shooting lasers out of their eyes. If you don't think that this is the most awesome thing ever, then Blood Dragon is clearly not the game for you.
The Blood Dragons are just ridiculous in the best way imaginable. One of these babies can take down a heavily armored helicopter with one blast from its eyes. Furthermore, you can lure the Blood Dragons to the enemy cyborgs and have them fight each other, which usually results in the Blood Dragon being victorious and your enemies being reduced to piles of shredded meat and junk. And as for how you can lure the Blood Dragons to your enemies, why, by throwing a cyborg heart which you acquire by ripping them out of the corpses of already fallen cyborgs. See, this is Jurassic Park, Universal Soldier, and Temple of Doom rolled all into one, and it's awesome.
And the homages don't stop here. I don't want to spoil exactly what happens in the last two campaign missions, so suffice it to say that the game pays homage to a classic shooter game we all know and love, and then follows that up with an homage to a classic 80s movie that we all know and love. It's epic, beautiful, and a blast to play through.
Now, let's talk about the future of the game versus the present in the real world. In the real world, the 21st century is the present, yet the most our engineers were able to offer the world are bloody smartphones. No sign of cyborg super soldiers, no sign of cyborg dinosaurs with laser cannons in their eyes. In other words, our present sucks. Allow me to demonstrate.
This is the Mikulski XFG-42 laser plasma blaster. Each shot fires 6 laser-guided streams of supercharged plasma capable of vaporizing a 6-foot-thick Kevlar door in the fraction of a second, as well as doing the same to a human being in half the time. It is the pinnacle of advanced technology. There is only one problem with it. It doesn't work. And that, you see, is the problem with the 21st century. For all its modernness, this era has not been able to breed engineers that could make a fantastic device like this function. But I do not blame the engineers. They are, after all, just laborers following instructions. It's not their fault that the blueprints were bad. No, it is the theoretical physicists who are to blame for this outrage, for the fact that to this day we do not have cyborg super soldiers armed with plasma rifles trying to take over the world. And that is completely unacceptable. But now at least we have a game that presents to us the future that never was, but should have been.
The future in Blood Dragon boasts fantastic technology. Not only do we have cyborg super soldiers and cyborg dinosaurs, we have an arsenal of high-tech weapons at our disposal. This includes my personal favorite, the blue neon bow, the ultimate stealth kill weapon. We also have guns with much bigger firepower, such as a sniper rifle that shoots explosive rounds that make rocket launchers obsolete and unnecessary, and a wrist-mounted laser cannon that makes the BFG 9000 look like a taser. You get grenades, a quad-barrel shotgun that sets people on fire, anything and everything you could ask for. Wreaking havoc could not be easier, and it's tons of fun.
So until I find me a proper scientist who can make this thing function, I'll just go back to killing people in Blood Dragon instead. Not that I would want to kill anyone with the XFG-42 if it worked, of course. After all, I am no cyber super soldier or even a hitman, retired or otherwise. I just like science fiction.
And the fun doesn't end with the guns either. This game features a fantastic 80s style synthetic soundtrack composed by Power Glove that sets the mood flawlessly. Listening to these tunes feels like going back in time, and it often makes you just sit back and do nothing as you listen and enjoy the music. We also get a few classic 80s songs on a handful of occasions, such as during a training montage, which makes the game's throwback level even more epic. Then there's an equally fantastic short film made by Corridor Digital that gives you a live-action teaser of the awesomeness you can expect in the game. It's a beautiful example of how much greatness you can achieve on a low budget with enough enthusiasm. I, for one, would love to see a feature-length live-action adaptation of Blood Dragon made in this style.
Quite frankly, this is the greatest game I've ever played. It is a blast from the past, or rather a blast from the past's vision of the future, which is now also the past, if that makes sense. This game is a reminder that it's worth to be alive, because no matter how much shit you have to go through in this fucked up world day after day, every once in a while something this epic comes along to lighten up your day. It warms my heart to know that such passionate people like the developers of Blood Dragon are out there, creating such fantastic works of art which entertain on so many levels. So, in the name of my generation, and fans of outrageous fun forms of entertainment in general, I'd like to thank Dean Evans and the rest of Ubisoft Montreal, as well as Michael Bean and of course Power Glove, for this fantastic experience. Thank you. From the bottom of my heart, thank you. Now, please give us a sequel. Pronto!